Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry for the super lateness. I'm only 3 minutes till tomorrow. I just had some stuff to get done today. I didn't want to waste time doing, but we ended up wasting time doing it. Anyways. Now, let's talk about some random stuff. I don't know what I really want to talk about. I can talk about what I did today as far as like what I show for content and stuff. Well, partially. I did do a brake readjustment on the bike. It's been raining the past 2 days. I should have went out today and rid, but went riding. But it was supposed to rain on and off. But then I got busy doing other stuff. It was just goofy of me to not get out today. But I had some small things to do. And yeah, hopefully, uh, tomorrow we'll get some video in if it's not raining. If it is raining, I'll do some video. I just don't know what to do. Like, so I'm relearning a lot of skills right now since I got my, leg strength back and things like that. So we're not really trying hard to get all of it back yet. I gotta start doing it, but uh those bikes are the high end racing bikes. They're crazy. Whole lot of note. I'm scrolling through. So yeah, I did a brake adjustment. It took a little bit of work actually. I was trying to do my drivetrain, but it was too dirty. So I just went back to what it was. If it wasn't too dirty, I probably wouldn't care to. But yeah, I probably had to clean it. I probably had to clean it. I'm probably gonna take it apart eventually and clean it. But I think if we have the time, uh, next weekend we'll be going to a skills park, so we'll be shooting a lot of that. It won't be super fancy. I'm working on drills right now too. Things of that nature. Um, I think a lot of the we can talk on something very simple. Actually, I can talk on it right now. Uh, right now, I'm. Let's talk about this. Right now on YouTube, I see three types of mountain bike videos. Right, I see some emergence, different type, but I see a few three main types of mountain bike videos. You got the vlog, you got the mountain bike industry is going to shit. Let me rephrase that. Four types. No, three. I was right. Mountain bike. Okay, so you got the vlogs. The mountain bike industry is going to shit, and they're losing their way, and they don't know what they're talking about, and blah 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 blah. And then you also have the like the mainstream GMBN pink bike stuff, right? Which pink bike isn't horrible. I'm not saying any of these companies are horrible. They're just very boring. Now, and then let me go with the fourth one, which is the short quote unquote films, which really aren't films. It's like anywhere between 3 to 15 minutes of one rider riding through the woods with some maybe somewhat epic music, not really though, and maybe some weird visual effects. Nothing. It looks like really bad. Like it's just not good looking. I watched one the other day and I was just like, what the fuck is look, I understand content is king, and if you're not putting out a lot of content, a lot of your YouTube isn't just gonna do is just gonna do well. It doesn't even matter the quality. I've seen shit content be put up repeatedly, and they get way more views than good content that just takes a long time to make because of the subject matter and how it's shot, things like that. Now, once you get to a point to where you can start rolling out stuff regularly, it's still going to take a long time to edit it and edit the way you want it and things like that. You just gotta capture a lot of footage. So I've come to the conclusion that the only way to make a good mountain bike channel that appeals to everybody, that isn't just like, is to have everything in it, right? Like, so, which kind of sucks because it does kill a lot of the editing time. Like, you would need a full-time staff, or your second job would be shooting, making, creating, fixing, creating, shooting, editing, and posting content. Now, I understand because YouTube has pretty much jumped the shark, in my opinion. If you're not putting up content every day, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter if it's a live stream, doesn't matter. That's why I did those short, not streaming tonight live streams. So the algorithm would still roll a little bit. But I think I'm going to start moving on to other things as well. Like, I will be playing video games and doing live streams and stuff, but I'm not going to make that my priority anymore. Now, I will be doing it every day. You know, I'll come on and talk about stuff or play a game or whatever. I'm going to be a variety streamer if I'm going to stream. But I think the biggest thing is that the biggest problem we have now is that there's 3 types of content I want to make or really 4 types of content just for mountain bike. One problem is the last one isn't viable right now, but I will be doing it to upgrade my bike, right? So everyone missed the upgrade. I didn't record it. I should have. At least at a time lapse. Everyone missed my drivetrain / rear wheels and my new tires. Upgrade with the tires. I don't know. Yeah, they were upgraded tires from what I had before. But to me, it doesn't matter if you're putting on upgrade, like better tires or just tires in general, or just replacing the ones that you had, things like that. To me, it's just maintenance. But I will probably be doing some maintenance videos here shortly because, to be honest, I think it's a good topic for wintertime and winterizing your bike and things like that, right? So, or not really your bike, although it would probably be a good idea if you have a thicker fluid in your like suspension to put a lighter fluid in it for wintertime. That's just a thought. Anyways, I was just thinking about that. Anyways, I think what's coming up here, just basic maintenance stuff. Like, I'm probably going to be shooting upgrades and maintenance. I should have shot the brake adjustment. Now, look, I'm not #1 bike mechanic guy, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I've done everything, but I don't know necessarily the terms for everything. Because I was the kid did BMX, and what got me into the whole bike mechanic thing was one day I was riding down the. Actually, I was coming back from mountain biking. I wasn't even doing BMX at the time in which I found what I found. We everywhere I've lived, we had like a junk day where you can get rid of the shit that you don't want anymore. And it's like, it's not trash. It's just stuff you don't want, but you can't really get rid of via the trash. You know what I mean? Like broken TVs, things like that. You know what I mean? Mattresses, whatever. Broken electronics, things like that, right? So one day when I was like, I don't know, probably like 12, I was riding back from a trail through the neighborhood I lived in. Well, it wasn't even really a neighborhood. Well, it was. But anyways, this is before we moved. Well, no, it wasn't really a neighborhood. It was a neighborhood that I was cutting through to get home from the trail in which I went to. Let's rephrase. Okay? Sorry. I guess I called it the neighborhood because it's where all my friends lived. So that's why we went there. That's why I was always going there and stuff. One day when I was like 12, there was this old couple that lived at the end of one of the roads there. And I was cutting through that neighborhood, and I saw 80s Diamondback BMX bike. Now, not like wasn't great. It wasn't in great condition. It had white tires. Was interesting. They were definitely dry rotted to fuck. They were worthless essentially. It became my fuck around bike, right? Like, I put some rims on it, new because they had plastic rims, the 80s plastic rims. I put rims on it. I put new tires. Everything else was good though, so I kept it that way. I kept it as original as possible while being able to use it, right? I think really all I got was new grips, new tires, and new wheels, and a new chain, just because I don't know how abused it was. You know what I mean? Like, for all I know, that thing could have snapped at. I mean, I did use the chain that was on it for a bit, but it could have snapped at any point in time, messing with the bike. But anyways, I didn't even replace the hard ass plastic seat. It was a straight up plastic. It was white, and the tires and the accessories were white. So brakes were white, brake handles were white, the grips were white, the brake what would be a caliper, but I guess you call them calipers. So it's because they're rim brakes. Brake calipers were white, and the seat was white, and the tires were white. I think I already said tires. So were the rims, by the way, but I changed them just for a standard set of just steel ones, or not steel, aluminum, metal finishes. Nothing too crazy or fancy or popular or anything. It actually had the old school pegs too that were also the bolts. You remember those? I don't know if anyone's old enough who's gonna watch this is gonna remember it. I think it was baby blue, but it had pink graphics. So I wanted to keep it as original as possible, just because it's pretty sick to grab from the 80s. You know what I mean? So I stopped and went and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, could I take that bike?" Like, yeah, we were just putting it out for junk day. You can have it. Cool. I was like, when was this like bought? And they were like, in the 80s, like mid 80s or whatever. And I was like, that's pretty sick. I'm gonna take it home. Thanks. So I fixed it up a bit, put new rims on it, put new tires on it, normal black tires. I didn't put any white tires. I was gonna change the seat and the grips to black. Well, the grips ended up being black later on when those started falling apart. Like, they were kind of stiff. I touched when I got them, but then they started actually crumbling just from sitting for so long and not being used and not having any kind of like. I guess they were sitting. It was sitting in their garage for so long, and it just started cracking and stuff. Eventually, I mean, it was already cracking when I got it. It's just they weren't like falling apart in your hands. Eventually, within a couple months, they started falling apart in my hand. Just put regular black grips on them. But that was a pretty sick bike. It was pretty lightweight for being a straight steel. Um, that kind of stuff I kind of miss. That's how I became what you would call the backyard mechanic version of bikes, right? Like I wasn't like I didn't take. That's how it all started, right? That's pretty simple. Chain, some wheels, tires, grips. I started doing other stuff and like um my mountain bike, I would start. The only thing I've never done on a mountain bike is suspension maintenance, which is probably going to be a new thing I do here coming out. But when I get to that point where I think I have to do, you know what I mean? And I'll have a professional look at it after I do it because I don't want to fuck it up. Or maybe I can get a shop to show me how to do it and they can guide me through it and I can put them in the video or whatever. That would be cool, actually. I'll have to think about that. But with that said, upgrades and stuff I'll be doing sparingly. I mean, I have a lot to upgrade. I have a 26-inch mountain bike that my son wants to get on the road. We got it the junk day here. We saw it. It's a little 26-inch. I think it's one of Rex's old would be considered a dual sport bike or a commuter bike. It's just something for him to ride around his mom's house that somewhat fits him. It's not like he has a 24 at his mom's house that was his normal bike, but he had a 24 at his mom's house that was it's too small for him. It's way too small for him. He's my height also, almost. So it's getting there. He's so we'll probably be doing that too. That's gonna need a lot of work. It needs a rear wheel, either a free hub or a cassette. Not sure what kind of rear wheel we're gonna get yet. We might just go the cheap route because he's not really gonna be using it to like do things on that are crazy. Like he's not gonna be doing jumps or anything. He might do some like he might start doing some like small drills at his mom's house to get better at certain things like track stands and stuff. But he's not gonna be getting too much into the weeds of like jumping and things like that, hard technical terrain, things like that. So I'm not too worried about what kind of rear wheel he gets as long as it's good enough to mess around on, do bunny hops on, things like that. And we'll probably get moving on to it needs new brake pads, the rim brake bike. So that's be a pain in the ass to find something good with. It's gonna need new tires, new tubes, because I'd rather him have tubes over there. Tubeless is too much for him to take care of at his mom's house. He's not gonna have a place to store things, and except for his room, and he probably doesn't really want like stuff in his room, especially like chemicals and things. It's bad enough he has shit like that sitting around his room. Some stuff like that sitting around his room already, like chain oil and extra brake pads and things like that. He wants to keep it minimum. He doesn't really have a place to store it at his mom's house. Not the bike, the stuff, without it going bad, especially like tire sealing. So we're gonna probably leave that with tubes. I don't mind tubes. People hate them. I don't get it. I could definitely run tubeless, but I don't really have a problem with tubes. In the past, I'd say 5 years, I've had maybe 3 flats, and most of that was because I pinched tube. But because of the low pressure, that was mostly me not checking the tire pressure when I went riding. So that would have happened with a bliss system, because it would have done a snake bite, which would have been not great. You know what I mean? Those don't seal very easily with even tubeless sealant. So we got that. We're probably gonna skip that. I'm probably gonna fork and things of that nature. So that'll be new. because it is a suspension fork. And we'll do like a whole build series on that. Uh, Maybe even get a new fork if we can find a. I think it's a straight steer tube. It's gonna be kind of hard. But if we can find a straight steer tube, 26-inch wheel, uh, fork, that would be cool. Well, I guess you could go. Well, no, because I don't think they're straight steer tubes anymore. As I say, you could probably do dirt jumper, but they're not straight steer tubes anymore. Um. Anyways, yeah, just something that he can ride around on, and maybe we can build it up a little bit more later on. But for now, it's just for something for him to ride around in his mom's house. Um, and I'm gonna be upgrading my bike a little bit more. I want to get hydraulic disc brakes. I want to get a fork, a good one. Probably going with a Marzocchi. I might switch the front to 29. I gotta see if that's worth it for me. That's another rim. That's another tire because it's the front, so that tire doesn't really wear out that quickly. Um, and I want to get handlebars and a stem. My stem's too long. Handlebars are steel, I think. Actually, like I think they're actually steel, which is because the frame's aluminum. And I want to get like higher rised handlebars, something that's like maybe in between like dirt jumper and enduro, or maybe just straight dirt jumper like size. Because I do like that position, even when riding in like, even when riding on trail. Um, and my stem's just way too fucking long. I'm also have to do a headset because my fork, even though my frame accepts I was just talking about that. What is it? Steer tubes. The steer, not straight, the other one. What the hell is the word? I'm trying to remember. Fuck. Anyways, I'll figure that out in a minute. I'll probably remember in a minute. Steer tube on my fork is straight, so I would need a new headset. That's gonna have to get done. What else is gonna have to get done? And that's about it. So not much, but dropper post, things like that. But my dropper post will be externally routed because internally routing. Again, could do it. I could do an internal cable routing. I do know the structural supports, the frame, and how that all works. So maybe then I'll want to internally route everything. But then again, I could just put the internal cable routing just at the back of the seat tube. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But I would like more drop because they only really offer like a couple millimeter, like 190 to like 100 millimeters of drop in the dropper post I want. So in external routing, so if I can get internal routing and get a little bit more drop and a raise, because it would be nice. Like, I don't know. We'll figure that out later. That's gonna take a lot of measuring. I think I'll buy a metric tape. Anyways, yeah, and I'm thinking about going. If I do go to 29er, I'm probably gonna go to 130. If I do 27.5 in the front, I do 27.5. I'll do 130. I think. Sure, I'll do. But 130 seems like the best bet if I have a 29er wheel. I just don't know yet. We'll later. We'll get to that. Get to that eventually. But yeah, we have a lot of projects, and plus my son wants to upgrade his bike a little bit. Well, a lot of it, but and then once we're done doing those, I think I'll be because I want to fully kit out that bike. You know what I mean? I want to make that bike as best as I can make it because it's what I used to do when I was a kid. I would find like not find, but like I would, you know, look for older used mountain bikes that were the relative specs of what I wanted and just either upgrade it or just or maintain it to have it function like it did out of the factory. Now, when I turned 18, I did do a lot of I didn't do that, which I should have probably did maintenance, but not suspension. Like I would take the shock, like the fork and the shock off to the of the bike and take it over to the shop and just be like, hey, can you do a rebuild? Things like that because it was just cheaper at the time. You know, trying to convince your parents you want like $1,000+ bike was kind of hard when there were so many bikes that were like 500 around the 500 price range. Good, not good enough, really. Because the parts that came on were. I just got used mountain bike frames or used mountain bikes and just got them best ability that I could at the time. But yeah, I also gotta measure his frame, how wide that is, and see how the rear what size the rear tire is gonna be for that 26-inch. Probably get him something that's not too expensive right now for that. It is a rim brake tire. It's a rim brake bike. Like there's nothing I can do about that on the frame. I guess I could hire someone who does aluminum welding and have them weld on their brakes for it, but you would also have to strengthen the frame right there, which wouldn't be hard. You would just add like another small tube in between the seat stay and the chain stay on the brake side. That would be actually pretty cool too. Like have them do it because I can't weld aluminum. The only kind of welding I know how to do is stick welding, and it's not pretty. That's probably the hardest welding too. So I know how to do it. I can get it done right. It just isn't good looking, and I don't want to, fuck up my son's bike. And if we're gonna go that far, we can just turn it into a okay dirt jumper. You know what I mean? A little dated dirt jumper. I have to look at the seat tube and see how like tall that is. Maybe cut that down. Get that like notch and eyelet thing going for the seat clamp and things like that. But yeah, it would be pretty fun to do. I think that would be fun to do. I mean, he'd probably mostly use it at a skate park or something at that point, but that's besides the point because once he gets his full suspension, he'll probably be running around that most of the time. My eventual goal is to upgrade my bike as much as possible, grab a full suspension. I'm debating on trail or enduro. I think I'm going to stick with enduro. Some of the stuff I want to do. And I also want to get a very large suspension free ride bike. But I have some problems with the free ride bike idea, right? Like, I thought about this a couple ways, right? I thought about getting a downhill bike and getting a short stroke shock for the rear, keeping the downhill suspension, mind you, just in case I want to do actual downhill later on, like, or actual like free ride in the sense like go to crazy places and just ride the area that doesn't have any trails, right? It's just like mountaintop, just fucking start from up there and just ride your way to where I guess the tree line would be, or somewhere where you can stop. I do want to keep that stuff, but since I can't do that all the time, I think my goal is going to be get a shorter stroke shock, to have it stop at around 190, and get also a enduro type fork, so a single crown fork, not a double crown, for 27.5. You can put a 27.5 rear wheel, a 29er, and get it set up for free ride. Like, I don't want to call it just urban, but like free ride in the sense that like I can ride it and not feel like I'm killing myself, like at the skate park and all that stuff. And I would like to get a dirt jumper eventually, but I don't think I want a dirt jumper if I'm going to get a free ride bike. I think the idea that I have in my mind is that since I only really have to change out the fork and shock, I can just use what would be a downhill bike as a free ride bike and be set, right? And be like, hey, okay. And when I actually want to say I want to go to a park or whatever, I'll just put on the other stuff, right? And it won't take very long. It'll take a couple hours, like an hour or so. Most of it will be finicking with the straightness of everything about it. And that would be like the bike that I would take to the skate park, the bike that I would take with the single crown fork, the bike I would take to the skate park, and the bike that I would ride around town to do like stuff on, not just trails, like actual stuff, like tricks. Probably have it set up to where the front brake, because I do want both brakes. Probably have it set up to where the front brake goes through the steer tube, and just a really long rear brake tube or housing or tube. Yeah, tube. It's a tube. Line to wrap around it, and then yeah, keep it like that. That would be pretty awesome. Actually, I think that's the way I should go on that. Not quite sure yet though. We'll figure that out later. But that'll be way down the line. Not way down the line, but like, in a little while. I'm more worried about getting a full suspension probably before next year, next like real season. I'll probably be riding it before then, but that's when I plan on getting one as soon as. And I plan on getting my bike upgraded over time, slowly, and then just doing the fun stuff. I do want to make more videos, not mountain bike videos, not just live streams of video games. This is more just so I have daily content to put up on my channel than it is to, because I want this. I need to change the name of the channel too. I think I'm just gonna have one channel everywhere. I know I have multiple channels right now for mountain biking and stuff. Maybe I'll keep the multiple channels for mountain biking for like long cut POV vlogs style stuff. But I want to do like actual mountain bike videos. I want to do the gambit of videos, like, right? I want to do mountain biking vlog type videos. I want to do mountain bike maintenance and upgrade type videos. I want to do mountain bike news. And I want to do like actual mountain bike videos where it's like what it used to be, like when you would see stuff. I watched one recently. It was not bad at all. It just wasn't super crazy. I don't know how else to explain it besides that. Here it is. No, it's edit. Where was this? I saw it earlier today, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I watched it yesterday. I don't know. Because, like, I'm not really a huge vlog guy. I don't like watching that kind of stuff. Is this it? Might be it. Hold on 1 second. Let me mute it so it doesn't copyright me or anything. Yeah, this is it. So that's another thing. A lot of these videos probably will get copyright stricken. I'm trying to get this type of video. Can you pause, please? This is like a simplistic someone who hasn't done it before. It's like this is probably what you'll see me do at first and like try to get it. Try to understand. Try to get used to the editing process of this. Restream's being slow today, sorry. There we go. So, like something like this, like, so not necessarily in this setting. It would be in multiple settings. It would be in the woods. It would be in like urban area type stuff. Doing stuff like wall rides and stuff like that off of foot plants, things of that nature. Any tricks I could possibly do, endo turns, whatever, right? That kind of stuff. Or endo spins, you know, hip into fakie, hip into whatever. This kind of stuff, right? I want to do this kind of stuff. I want to do all kinds of stuff that would be fun. I'm just showing this. I'm not going to be showing it. And then I want to do, not reviews, be news in the sense that like, that's worth talking about. I don't want to do like general news. Like I'm not going to sit there and look up who won the last Dura race or who won the last downhill race or who won the last cross country race. And where and whatnot and like what the conditions were and all that bull. I don't care about that. Like it's cool, don't get me wrong. I do watch that stuff from time to time. I am interested in a little bit because it is a topic that I do like. Problem is that I don't have the time nor the resources to go through that kind of stuff right now. So I'm just not going to. And it's just because I'm not a company. I am, but I am the only person here. I have Dustin that streams with me as a co-host / I'm a co-host on his streams. But like we're trying to get into the whole thing. And the live streams aren't just going to be video games. It's going to be stuff like this, me talking about stuff. I'm kind of just giving you a small update on the channel since it was a late day for me. And I just didn't have really any room. I did try to hit. It did start before 12, so I did get a little bit of the 3 minutes of streaming that I did get in of today. But it's been kind of hard recently because, you know, I'm kind of all over the place. But I think in the future, in the next, probably until fall, I think winter will be my main live streaming time. I'm doing longer shows, things like that. And spring, summer, and fall will be my most where most of my mountain biking content is going to go. Because it's you just ride more, you just do. Like it doesn't matter if you like the cold. Like I love the cold. I'm a huge guy. But here's the problem with winter, right? I hate two things about winter. Two things only, right? I hate three. That's unconditional. That's a conditional one. That's more of a you hate that winter versus you hate winter, right? Daylight, less daylight, and people don't like to go outside. Which that can also be a benefit, but people don't like to go outside. The third condition, which is a conditional, is whether it snowed enough or not. That's a different story though. Yeah, I just want to start making more mountain biking content, focusing on that, and I'm watching stuff not to copy, but to get inspiration for on how to take care of this. Because as a one-man crew most of the time, I gotta set up stuff. I gotta do that kind of thing, right? set up everything, do everything myself, edit everything myself, blah 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 blah. And I don't have the money to spend on somebody to, even if it's just like like a per video type deal, to spend on an editor and things like that, a camera guy, all that kind of stuff. Now I can do some stuff. I do have like tripods and stuff and things like that, both for my GoPro, my phone, and my phone. That'll be helpful. But the real hard part is I want to get, essentially, my goal is to get enough footage throughout. See you later, and thanks. Have a good one. Bye, bun. Get enough footage monthly to make a cut video, like what you would call a cut, what I'll call a cut video, which is just some, and I won't just be me, it'll be other people too. Like my goal is to not just record myself, but others. Son, any of his friends, anyone else that's out there writing that knows how to do this kind of like stuff. I want to do big stuff, like not like giant stuff, but like I want to do cool stuff like urban freeride, clips of that, ramps, all that kind of stuff. So we're getting to the point to where for now it's pretty much just going to be vlog style, some shooting of some like obstacles and things like that, like actual difficult obstacles and things like that. Some tricks, if I can get some of them back as fast, I'm gonna get them back as fast as possible. Maybe some skate park stuff, if there isn't a shit ton of people there. We have this local skate park. It's pretty good for this, but the problem is that when there's a lot of people, mountain bikes just aren't a thing. Like when there's a lot of people, it's hard to even do BMX. That's how like it's a skate park to begin with. Like it's set up to be a skate park. It's not set up to be any kind of bike park. There's a skills park I want to go to regularly that we might be hitting up here shortly, hopefully next weekend. Get a lot of footage of that, both vlog style and like stuff being shot for a cut video. What else? I want to get people in those on those videos. What else do I want? Like, I want to do all kinds of stuff. Like, it's not just me goofing off in the woods doing nothing. I want to get all kinds of stuff done. So there'll be a lot of editing in the near future, right? Like, so I'll be editing a lot, which, you know, is fine. I have no real issue with it. I also just want to do like kind of like a ride around a town kind of vlog on the mountain bike, like what's going on like a Friday night in Sykesville or Westminster, like the towns in Maryland, and see what's going on, you know what I mean? That would be fun. So we're working on a lot of stuff. That would be vlog style. We also have to get some ramps. Like, I'm not talking about anything big. I'm not going to be carrying around a bunch of ramps, but there's one ramps. You get the Ninja MTB bike ramps. Those are pretty cool. I like those. / BMX ramps. But they're expensive. Like, they're expensive. Or something similar to that effect. Just something that I can, something small, nothing super big, that I can just, you know, kind of just use as part of free riding and things like that. You know what I mean? I don't want like a giant ramp that's bigger than me. That you can like break down and stuff. That's like like there's a couple in here. There's one right here. How big is this? How big is it? I want to see. Buddy. Yeah, this isn't very big. Something like a little kick ramp. Uh, Things like that. Take around with us and shoot video. Thanks for this. Thank you, Swan. And just trying to do more stuff. I am going to start playing more games again. I have to figure out what I want to play. That's been a real hard problem with me. Like, I do want to play Pokemon games I usually play, but I'm just like, kind of burnt out on them, so I need to find something else to play. For now, I was playing Tony Hawk, but I have a problem with Tony Hawk being played on stream. This music just you're not allowed to, right? So there's that. Same with Riders Republic. I did the mountain bike stuff on there. That was fun, but it's just not as fun playing the game without the music. I don't know if the music for Republic's Gamers is any good, but I do like the music on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater usually. I just gotta find something that's more my style. I should probably get back into some kind of fucking shooter. I was playing Doom for a bit, but like in the mornings on weekend mornings, kind of like I had a Saturday morning cartoon type of idea for that, which it did. I'm sure it got some. I don't remember how many views it got, but I'm sure it got some. Not like super early. It wasn't like 8 o'clock. It was like 9 to 10. Usually started somewhere between there. And things like that. But I think the best thing for me to do would be to get more consistent in the evening or at night. I don't know when though, because like if I'm out shooting, I'm limited in my day, right? Like it's either I make mountain bike content or I don't. I live stream or I don't. So cutting out my time, it would be nice if I could just like, I don't know, come into a lot of money somehow and just do this. But that's not real. So I just need to grind on this more. Probably going to be starting at 9 versus 8, especially in the summertime, if not later. On the weekends, it's probably going to be later because when I do all kinds of stuff from, certain housework, it's going to be like a while. And all that. But I also need to edit video. I need to, for mountain biking. Although, to be fair, editing video for mountain biking I don't have to edit it and upload it right away. I could just trickle it in, like edit so much, and then like just keep doing that and just put them out whenever I get to them. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But I have some ideas. They're not crazy. Right now, they're good. I think. I had a really cool idea on this one trail the other day where I saw some stuff that looked good for like a free ride type situation. I can do some of the free riding that's around here on my bike, but I really need like at least a trail bike to do it. You know what I mean? It's full suspension trail bike to do a lot of this stuff, a lot of the things. So, but I have a hardtail, which I'll have for a while, and I'm gonna upgrade it and make it better and blah blah blah. But yeah. But that's it for the night. I jump off and head to bed because it's late where I'm at. Go to work tomorrow. I get up early. That's one thing. Burning. I did notice that not today's Sunday or now it's Monday because it's past 12, but it was just Sunday, and I did burn myself out last Sunday, and I realized that I do need to rest more. It probably would help also if I stay off the energy drinks for a bit, which I have been for the most part. Obviously, there's been times this week where I was just deadbeat tired and had to live stream or had to get some stuff done and get it done a little bit quicker. and I wanted to, and so I drank an energy drink to help with that. But I am cutting back on it drastically. I'm not buying them every day. Probably not very good for you. They probably give you heart attacks and shit in reality, and uh, I shouldn't be using them the way I was using them. I was using them to wake up like coffee, and I don't think that's the way they. I don't think that's the way they want you to use it. I think it's more of when you're tired, not when you're waking up. Not, when I wake up, yeah, everyone's a little groggy when they wake up. Nobody's like and a little tired to wake up. That's everybody. Doesn't matter if you drink coffee, energy drinks, or any of that shit. It just, it just. I also need to keep my water intake and my diet better. Past couple of weeks, I haven't really been eating very well. Like, I would eat like tiny dinners and maybe a really bad snack, like a snack cake or something. It's not good for you. Um, and then like once a week, I would eat out, and probably shouldn't even do that um, at all because eating out, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, it's food ready to go, but they don't really use the best ingredients everywhere. And I'm gonna eat out. It's probably gonna be fast food, so than anything else. Not really a good idea to be eating for you. Well, I've been losing weight. To be fair, maybe too much, too quick, but definitely gotta keep my water intake up. That's been really hard recently, and I don't even know why. It has been. Like when I'm riding, I don't mind drinking water, but it's every other time. I think it's because I was drinking a gallon of water at work for so long. Like in 8 hours, I would drink a gallon of water. Um, that it just kind of is just like, you know what I mean? You just like, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And it is a lot of water in 8 hours. I mean, shit, I drank a gallon of water in 4 hours at work. I was so dehydrated at one point. But with me exercising and stuff at my weight, I'm supposed to be drinking at least a gallon of water a day. Gallon to a gallon and a liter a day. So that way I'm not out there dying of heat exhaustion and dehydration. But the real kicker is that I would drink an energy drink, and as people know, caffeine is what's called a diuretic, which makes you go to the bathroom, pushes all your water out of your system. So that's got to stop. I'll drink caffeine at night, maybe like tea or something, but not like real caffeine. Real high doses of caffeine. So and sugar. I gotta stay away from the sugary snacks and drinks for that matter. I've been drinking a lot. I have noticed that even though I stopped drinking as many energy drinks, I subconsciously, without even really realizing it, replace it with soda. That needs to stop too. And soda's not good for you ever. So neither are energy drinks, to be honest. But it is what it is. I'm going through the rough patch of changing my diet to be intermediate fat. Intermediate fat. It's been kind of hard on the body. But yeah, we'll get back to playing some games tomorrow. I'll figure out what I want to play tomorrow before I stream, and then I'll playing some kind of video game, talking about whatever else. Maybe the game, maybe something else. Who the fuck knows? The Yeah, it's not easy to stay. It's not easy to stay away from sugary stuff. It's not. Uh, Sugar is a real addiction for a lot of people. I can cut in and out of it with no problem. Problem is that I drink a lot of fluids just normally. Water. When you drink water for years and you just want some kind of fucking flavor, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's that sensation of flavor for me more so than the actual sugar. Like, I can stop sugar at any point in time. The problem is that I forget that you forget sugar equals flavor, right? So, you want the flavor, because water is bland, let's be honest, it sucks. But, it's hard. It is hard. It is like a real addiction. For me, the addiction is the sensation of, flavor. For a lot of people, though, people have a real hard time quitting. Like they get headaches and stuff. Like how do you get the only headaches I've gotten for like the past decade is from sinus headaches because I have allergies. So it's really weird for me to hear someone like I get people get headaches for other reasons, but like for me, I'm like, how do you get a headache from sugar? And I should probably stop smoking too, but it's been slowing down a lot. But yeah, the water, the sugary stuff, that's an addiction. I've seen people like crippled, like get headaches every day for like a month. It's also like one of those things where you don't realize you're doing it, right? Like you know you're doing it, but you don't realize that the why you're doing it. And it's a crazy addiction. Sugar is a crazy addiction. People say, I'd say one of the biggest drugs. It's not a drug, obviously. One of the things that the most abused substances right now in existence is probably sugar and caffeine throughout the world. So I know it's not a drug, but it is a substance. It is a substance, not a drug substance, but it is a chemical. Everything's made out of chemicals. So, but yeah. I'm sure that I don't know if they get. I don't know if they. I don't know about that. I think for me it's just a sensation, but for some people they get like I guess because it's a drastic change, they get headaches, and your brain. The science behind it is your brain does run off of sugar, like it does. Doesn't matter what kind of sugar, it doesn't care as long as it works, right? But a lot of people don't supplement that sugar with actual like food. So like, here's a prime example. One of my friends tried to do the carnivore diet. That's like zero sugar besides whatever sugar is inside of meat. Like natural sugars are inside of meat. Isn't very much. He got a lot of headaches, and he quit like drinking soda, and he quit like all sugar and caffeine. I think it's one of the biggest problems. That he also quit caffeine, because caffeine, if you don't know how that works, that's kind of crazy how it works too. But sugar is kind of the worst because your brain runs off of sugar, and it has so much and so plentiful amount that once you start restricting it, you get some kind of headaches. They also call it the keto flu when you go into a keto diet or your body goes into ketosis. You start feeling like shit when you first start doing it because your body's not used to it. Body's used to running off of sugar and water instead of just like protein, vitamins, and the things you're supposed to be running your body off of. And fat. Fat's a good important thing to your body. Trust me, I know this just because I used to be like super cut, and like when I was younger, I used to be cut like I wasn't huge, I wasn't jacked or anything, but you could see like if I was like out mountain biking or doing a sport of some sort, you would see all my muscles in my body. Like you could not. There was no like fat on me. I think it was 10%. The lowest I had was 10% body fat, and that shit sucks for two reasons. You gotta eat a lot. You gotta eat a lot of fat. Don't eat the fat, die. So that is very important. You're just not supposed to eat it and hold on to it. You're supposed to burn it. And that's what ketosis does. When your body moves into ketosis, it's just burning fat instead of sugar. So, and then caffeine isn't super good for you either. I mean, it's not as bad as drugs like meth or whatever, but like it makes your adrenaline run. Like that's what it does. People don't know that. What caffeine does is it makes your adrenaline run. So you're always like when you see someone who's like drinks a lot of coffee, like way too much coffee, not like a lot, like way too much. Like they're drinking like 2 or 3 cups within the first, or yeah, like maybe even more than that, like 4 to 5 cups within the first 2 hours they're awake. That's usually why they're anxious. That's usually why they're antsy. That's usually why they aren't thinking clearly. It's because their adrenaline's running. So if you have a lot of caffeine in your system, your adrenaline starts running really high, and it's just not. And abusing your adrenaline system is not a good idea. Just like everything else, you shouldn't abuse everything. And I have no problem with people drinking a cup of coffee a day or whatever every morning, or a cup of. Oh no, you're good. No, I'm not a veteran. Nope, just like camo. I grew up in the woods hunting, so hunting and shit. So I just like this hat because it's comfortable. I think I've bought like four of these already. Gone through four of them. But they're comfortable, and I always wear a hat. Been since I was a little kid. So people are gonna say it's because I'm balding. I've been balding since I was 15, so I don't care. It's not crazy. It's not crazy interesting. But I don't really care about my hair. It's just that I always wear it. I've always worn one. I don't know why. It's just habit. Probably because I was always outside in the sun. Yeah. Probably because I was outside and always in the sun and stuff, and I burn easily because I'm a redhead and very fairly complected. So I try to keep my face from getting sunburnt regularly. Besides just wearing sunblock. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go wear. I'm not gonna go put on a shit ton of sunblock to go through the football around with my friends all the time. Yeah. No, I'm not a veteran. I know a few veterans. I'm not a veteran. Quite a few actually. Probably because where I grew up, a lot of country boys grow up and become part of the military. But yeah, the I'm gonna get going and then get some sleep because I gotta get up at 5. It is now almost 1. No, it's 1 minute to 1 on where I'm at. And I gotta get up in 4 hours. So I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully around 9 Eastern Standard Time. If not, it'll be sometime tomorrow night before 12. We'll just say that. All right. Have a good one. Peace out. Nice seeing you. Plant Mustachio. Who else chatted? Oyo Bun and Swan. Thanks for chatting. Peace out. I'll see y'all later.